What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm talking about everything you need to do to find your next off-market investment property. Now, whether it's commercial or residential, a lot of this stuff blends together, so just pay attention if you're looking for off-market deals, regardless of where and what type of asset class, because again, it matters. You can find it in just about anything I'm going to tell you. When it comes to finding off-market deals, realize you're not finding it on LoopNet, you're not finding it on Zillow, you're not really going to be finding it on the MLS. Like, these are not the places to go. We're talking about off-market, completely off-market, no agents involved, you direct to seller. That's what we're talking about in this video. Let's just talk about it step by step because you got a lot of options. I'm just going to start when it comes to commercial investments just because, again, I was just talking a lot of videos about that, so I'm going to dive more into it. When it comes to commercial focused only, okay, let's just say you're trying to find a commercial off-market piece of property. I don't care what asset class, does not matter. You're going to be looking at two different softwares. The most important softwares you're going to need are the following. Number one, Reonomy, okay? If you don't have Reonomy downloaded, I would definitely recommend it. It is a few $100s a month. I would definitely spend the money if you have the bankroll. Now listen, if you don't have the bankroll, here's the coolest part. Split it with somebody. Split it with two guys. Split it 3, 4, 5, 6 ways. It doesn't matter because you can all have access to it. Doesn't really matter. And you're all going to be able to pull data from it, okay? You can pull lists. You're going to pull some information. Everything you're going to need is basically on Reonomy. And the only other software I would recommend, especially if you're an agent, is CoStar. If you don't have CoStar, I definitely recommend getting it, especially if you're a licensed agent and you don't have CoStar, I definitely recommend getting it. Most brokerages in the commercial world will give it to you, yet there are some agencies that don't give it to you, especially if you're on the residential side, you might not be able to get CoStar because it's not exactly a cheap software. So that's why, commercial brokerages charge you an arm and a leg in your commission splits. But regardless, I pay for both. It doesn't really matter. I want you to understand those two softwares, CoStar and Reonomy, are going to be the best softwares you could possibly download in order to pull off-market deals. Those are the only two softwares I really use to find absolutely everything. I'm just telling you guys, by the way, what I do. I'm not telling you to spend any money that I'm not willing to spend or have spent on finding deals. Okay, this is actually the softwares I use. You're going to use these two softwares, and yes, you're going to basically pull lists of anything that you're going to want. I specifically would look for the following: properties that have not been sold in the last 5 or 10 years, properties that have one owner. Ideally, those are the best ones to be targeting. And properties that also have not been the following. Number one, they have not been refinanced in the last 5 or 10 years. And lastly, these are going to be properties ideally that have been purchased. Okay, I know that last 5 or 10 years. However, ideally, I'm telling you to find the best luck in properties that have been owned for 20 or 30 plus years. When you're finding those types of properties, right? Like you can kind of layer these types of findings. So again, 5 or 10 years at a minimum. Ideally, I'd try to go to 10 or 20 years. They have not been refinanced or sold in the last, call it 5 or 10 years. They are sole owners, and they are ideally, and here's the other thing, I'd even say do not go over like 20 million to start with. If you're looking in the commercial world, like 2 to 20 million is a really good price point because those are mid-range buyers. Okay, and again, if you want to start between 2 and 5 or 2 and 10, you might even find even better luck. But that's the criteria I like to focus on when I'm first coaching somebody, is just focus on that because I have about 300 other motivations that will layer over different things, and we have other ways of finding out more information beyond those two softwares. But those are the good places to start. So call them up, and you can use my script book down in the description down below if you're wondering what to say. And on top of that, because listen, that script book you can use for for residential, or you can use it for commercial. A lot of great information in there. And listen, just use the circle prospecting script. It's the easiest thing in the world, okay? Now, I want you to also understand something. If you find decrepit, old properties as you're driving, make sure you write down the addresses, then go to truepeoplesearch.com, and you can look up people's property addresses and property information. You can even look on Reonomy or CoStar once you can just cross-reference it. It's another really cool, easy, simple way to find some property. Next, Facebook groups, okay? Facebook groups. I'm about to dive into residential in a second, but I'm just talking about commercial for a second. If you are doing commercial, Facebook groups is another awesome way to do it. Listen, connecting with people on the Facebook groups, research anything with the word commercial real estate. Look up everything in any area you want. You're probably going to find a couple Facebook groups, and just make sure you connect with a bunch of people in there, okay? Because they're all looking for deals, and if they know you're a local investor or you are looking for deals just like they are, you can all collaborate. Really awesome way to make some money together. On top of that, I would call a lot of commercial brokers. Get to know a bunch of commercial brokers that are local, as well as agents that I would even say a little bit, newer in the business, because when they're newer in the business, they're going to be hungry to work with people, okay? They're going to look for new clients. They're going to be excited to work with you. Unlike people who've been in the business 20, 30, 40 years where they have a bunch of clients, they're probably just going to pass you off to somebody anyways, okay? So newer agents who've been in the business a few years, they're probably going to be super hungry and excited to work with you, so you're going to talk to those. Another one you can be talking to is local wholesalers. So again, in these Facebook groups, you're going to say like, hey, is there any wholesalers that are looking for commercial properties? Love to connect and we can find a way to make some money together. Do that. I'm telling you, there's so much opportunity in that. On the residential side, understand this. Yes, you have the ability to also do very much the same stuff on the commercial side. However, I'm going to kind of explain it to you in a linear fashion. So When it comes to pulling lists, okay, the softwares you're going to need are the following. Mojosells.com. I don't make any money. I don't have any affiliates, just like any of the other softwares I'm telling you. I'm not here to make money on freaking affiliate stuff, okay? Point I'm trying to say to you is that, like, Mojosells.com is probably the best dollar in the freaking world for you. I've been using it for, my entire career. Mojosells.com, make sure you download it. You can pull all the data you want. You just need the neighborhood search function. Now, Mojo's even getting pretty cool because you pull absentee owners and foreclosed homes, right? Like, so you'll be able to pull some of that data. It's probably the best place to start, okay? Start with Mojo Sells, and then you can go into a lot of other different softwares. Like, listen, you can look into Podio, RNI Reply. There's a lot of other softwares that you can go through and, basically utilize some of the other lead tracking stuff, right? Mojo is just a really simple, easy way to find off-market deals. In the residential space, you can literally just circle any area you want. You'll pull a bunch of data there. Really, really simple, guys, and you can just dial it there. You don't have to export anything, okay? It's all exported into the software regardless. So, mojosells.com, you're going to export it. You're going to call through your list. Make sure you use the script book in the description down below. And by the way, if you have not yet scheduled a call with me for a one-on-one session with me and my team, we would love an opportunity to work with you guys and be able to take you from wherever you're at right now to a 7-figure income. So on top of that, I want you to understand that, like, listen, I learned all this through my mentors and my coaches, okay? Like, I didn't just one day think about how to do this. Like, I learned this through my coaches, and it's been able to make me millions and millions of dollars, which is why I'm teaching you how to do it basically for freaking free. But there's obviously a lot of other things and massive amount of opportunities that we can create together in the coaching group. So that's why I'm here, guys. I'm just here to support you, make sure you guys can make a lot of money. On top of the list that you're going to create, understand this. Yes, you can also do the Facebook groups, like I just said. You can go to every single, we call it real estate investor groups, okay? Anything you find on Facebook groups, like, it's a really, really simple, easy way to get started in finding buyers and sellers in that way, okay? Because don't get me wrong, you might have to be splitting the money with a wholesaler, which again, wholesalers are a fantastic opportunity for you to make some money. However, it doesn't mean every single deal is a great deal. Not every wholesaler knows what they're doing, and not every wholesaler can find unbelievable deals, but it doesn't mean you can't make some money on some opportunities, okay? Finding those off-market opportunities is also a really good, easy, simple way where if you are in residential real estate and you're looking for a client and they want an off-market house, right? Like I was telling you in other videos how you can make your own commissions. If you find a wholesaler who found a house and they're not afraid to do some work, you might be able to make some money. I mean, a lot of money, right? So there's a lot of ways where you can make some money in this business, okay? Finding off-market properties is the key to doing so. So again, you're going to be able to pull your list. Go into Facebook groups. Again, if you're doing driving for dollars, if you're driving around a neighborhood, you've seen a really decrepit house, go to truepeoplesearch.com and you can look them up and try to find a phone number, as well as on Mojo, you can actually pull their phone number as well. It's all right there in the software, okay? Fantastic opportunities. Now, last thing I'm going to say for this, if you were looking for off-market opportunities, the only thing that I am going to stress to you is the following. If you want to make money when it comes to off-market properties, two things are very, very important. The amount of conversations you have and the amount of contracts you write, because nothing else is more important. You need to have a lot of conversations and understand this is going to take some time. It's not like in 3 seconds or 3 days or 3 weeks or 3 months, you're going to all of a sudden become a millionaire. Is it possible? Yeah. Is it likely? No. It took me 36 months to go from $0 to $1 million a year in income. So again, for you, like, that's fast in most people's cases. So again, in 3 months, most people, I see so many people quit this business in like a year and a half. I'm like, guys, like, you're just getting started. Like, come on. What I'm trying to say here is that take time, be consistent, make a lot of conversations every single day. And if I recommend anything, I would recommend somewhere between 40 and 60 conversations a day if you don't have anything else that you're doing when it comes to this business. Like, if this is full-time, 40 to 60 conversations a day minimum. My goal every day was 100. Right, I would do 100 every single day, Monday through Friday, and then I would try to do a few on the weekends, right? The point is that I'm trying to show you guys that, like, it's going to take some time in order to make some money here, so don't just get all pissed off and frustrated if you've been doing, 3 weeks or 3 months worth of calls. And by the way, if you can only do 20 conversations a day, and you can do that consistently for 3 years, I promise you'll also be successful. If and only if what? And if you've been with me, you're probably saying, I got to be writing a lot of contracts, okay? So yes, the contract, second thing I want to talk about is the contract side. So yes, you're having a lot of conversations, but if you're not writing any contracts, you're not going to make any money. This is going to be also another video, guys. Like, I'm going to make a whole video just about this. If someone is having, call it 100 conversations a day, so that's 3,000 conversations a month, versus somebody who's having 10 conversations a day, but they wrote 10 contracts. The person who wrote their most contracts wins. So I'm just telling you right now, focus on writing a lot of contracts. Even if it, listen, write up an ABC contract, right? Which basically just means an A to B contract where you're just locking it up in contract where you have the ability to sell it out to other buyers if you want to wholesale it, which you can just Google it, A to B contract, Google it, it's freaking everywhere. Or a letter of intent on the commercial side. Again, it's freaking everywhere. Just Google letter of intent. What I'm trying to make, guys, is that it's simple, but it's going to take a lot of time. Make sure you write a lot of contracts, have a lot of conversations, and follow this video, and you're going to make a lot of money in investment real estate. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.